oh gosh, I was in another chat room earlier today and people were having tech problems on there. I've been on Clubhouse this morning too, and people were having tech problems on there. And then I jump on to do my live stream for you, and same thing happens, but never mind. Anyway, wonderful to welcome you here this morning. For those of you that don't know, my name is Janine Garner, and I tend to live stream 2 to 3 times a week. So wonderful to welcome you. If you are listening or watching this over on YouTube and we get to the end of this stream and you like what you've heard, then I would love you to subscribe. You will see there that there's a little bell. Make sure you tap that so that as we load new videos into YouTube, you are getting notice of those, because we are adding more and more content every single week to make sure that you have the skills and the tools, the how-tos that you need to improve your networking skills. And if you're interested and you want to connect, jump on over to Facebook and join my group on Facebook called Networking Skills for Entrepreneurs. In this group, I again upload a whole heap of learning units, but also most importantly, introducing you to other people within that network. And over the course of the next couple of weeks, I'll be introducing some of my network. So we'll be live streaming into there so that you can meet some awesome people in my world from around the world that you can hopefully engage into your worlds too. So the reason I do these live streams is I've spent years and years operating this space of networking. And let me just take that one off there. I don't need to see that now. Yeah, so the reason I take that one off, here we go. The reason I am starting to do this is because I want to share with you everything that I've learned and continuing to learn over these many years of looking into networking, what works, what doesn't work, what are the skills that incredible successful business owners, entrepreneurs are using that potentially we could use. I even wrote a best-selling book on this subject called It's Who You Know, and I spend my life training and working with individuals around the world to help them really build more effective connections, build strategic partnerships to scale their businesses, to achieve their dreams, which ultimately is what we all want. So this morning, what are we going to talk about this morning? Well, I literally, as I said, just jumped off Clubhouse and we were having a really awesome chat on there around introversion as a superpower. And I thought this would be a good conversation to share this morning in terms of some of the skills. I want to actually, for those of you that are listening to this that may be an introvert, really want to give you some acknowledgement that you have some incredible skills. You have a superpower that actually makes you awesome networkers. If you're an extrovert, permission to jump off right now. Or if you're an extrovert that's curious as to how to get more out of the introverts around you, or you might have introverts on your team, you might have introverts in your business, then hang around, because I'm going to share with you some of the awesome skills that introverts have that they can bring to our world. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I am a classic introvert, which is hilarious, right? Because I am known as a global thought leader in the space of networking. As I said, I've written a networking book, a best-selling book. I travel the world speaking about networking and training corporate executives on how to network better. And I've even got my own network where I work one-on-one with incredible business owners to help them build those right partnerships to scale their next stage of growth. And yet, I also built a networking business which I sold in March 2019. And yet, I cannot stand going to large networking events. When I work corporately, I would often say no to invites to industry events, to big fashion shows at the time, to product launches, because I found it quite, it would just, my anxiety would go through the roof. I actually get my energy from being one-on-one with people. I re-energize by being at home on my own. I'd much rather be sat on my own reading a book or delving into deep conversation. And yet I got to this stage in my career where I realized that there was a limit I realized that actually if I was going to achieve my goals and the dreams that I'd set out for myself, if I was going to build my business, then actually I had to rethink this whole concept of networking and really get curious as to how I, as a classic introvert, could actually network better. And so this is what I want to talk about today, because I've actually lost count of how many people actually say, I can't network, Janine, because I'm an introvert. I can't network because I'm an introvert. Is that you? Are you one of those people? And you know, the challenge that you've got is actually to stop telling yourself that story, because introversion and extroversion are actually part of human nature. And it's actually more about how do we use our innate skills, our innate gifts, and how do we amplify those gifts to ensure that we are operating better. And that's what I want to talk to us about, because if we're not careful, if you're an introvert listening to this, and you're using it as an excuse, you are putting yourself in a box. And you're putting yourself in the box of, I am shy. I'm not very good at networking. I'm not going to go to events because I really don't like it. In fact, I'm just going to stay in my nice introvert bubble. The risk is, if you do that, you're going to get to a point where you'll stay stuck, where your career won't advance, where your business won't grow. And so actually what we've got to do is embrace our inner introvert and actually get curious as to how you can really amplify the skills that you have got to create the impact that you want to make. So, as I said, the risk if we don't network is, actually let me go back a step. A lot of the introverts that I speak to use the following as an excuse. They go, I overthink, Janine. I'm living in my head, Janine. I'm constantly thinking about what I should say next. I'm worried about how to introduce myself. Why would anyone be interested in me? I find the shallowness of the conversation just not motivating and inspiring at all. And all of these things actually become the excuse. And yet I want to flip that, because actually the stuff that you're using as an excuse right now is your superpower. Oh, imagine that. Imagine it being a superpower. So, there are a couple of things I want you to think about. Let me just pull up my iPad. Here we go. Let's just pull this one up. Let me get myself on screen there. Okay, so let's just again talk about some of the things that we currently may see as the problems, as the challenges of being an introvert. We go, my pen's not working now. 2 seconds, let me see if I can get it to connect. Let's see if that works. I'm gonna have to type. So, we think that we overthink. We live in our heads. We are concerned about what to say. We worry about being interesting. And we actually dislike superficial conversation. Does that sound like you? So you overthink, you live in your head, you're concerned about what to say, you worry about being interesting. And most introverts that I speak to actually dislike the superficial conversation. Here's the thing though, is that all of those can be flipped. And it's about actually ultimately embracing who it is that you are. So the first thing I want you to think about as an introvert is embrace who you are. Embrace your natural introversion style. Embrace the fact that you think deeply. Embrace the fact that you're not comfortable being in large format networking events. Embrace the fact that you like to go deep, that you're interested in people, because that is what makes you who you are. So let me see if this pen works now. So number one, nope, my pen's not working. So number one, I want you to embrace who you are. Who are you as an introvert? I want you to go, I'm an introvert and I'm proud of it. I'm an introvert and I'm proud of it. That then leads me to the second point. The second point is one of leveraging your skills. So if we think about these skills that are on screen right now, you overthink. Which means that you think deeply, you're curious about conversation. You live in your head, you're constantly joining dots differently and going deeper in your head as people around you are still at a certain level. You're concerned about what to say. Well, maybe that's because you're curious about other people and you don't want to be boring. You want to embrace the connection, like embrace the fact that you are putting other people before yourself. You worry about being interesting. Well, everybody is interesting, right? Everybody has got something to add to a conversation. We all have opinions. We all have experiences. We all have life skills. We've all got strengths. We've all got weaknesses. We've all got interests. Every single one of you has that stuff. So when it comes to leveraging your skills, here's what I want you to think about. As an introvert, you have a natural ability to listen deeply. You have a natural ability to listen deeply. So embrace that, own that. Like those of you that are introverts listening to this, you're probably going, yeah, I'm constantly listening to other people first. And if you can listen deeply, if you can focus on what the other person is saying, it forces you to get out of your head. And that leads me on to the second skill that you have. It's that skill of asking deeper questions. The thing about introverts is we don't want the spotlight on us. We want the spotlight to be on other people. And so we naturally will ask questions. You know, I find it fascinating where I'll be at various events that I'll be hosting or running and people go, how do you remember people, Janine? How do you have so much information about people, Janine? How come you get people networking together, Janine? How come you get people relaxed and talking? It's because I don't want people actually talking about me, and so I naturally look for opportunities to engage in conversation with other people by asking them to talk about themselves, and then I will put people in touch with each other. That's what you can do too as an introvert. So ask a deeper question. Own the fact that you know how to ask questions to both engage people and also you know how to ask questions to get people to explain even more deeply about what they're talking about. So number one was embrace who you are. I want you to high five yourself that you're an introvert. Number two, it's about leveraging your skills. And this includes the listening deeply. It includes asking questions. But it also includes the fact that you are really good at focusing one-on-one with people. You're really good at making the people that you are talking to feel like they are the only person that matters right now. That's an awesome skill. It's okay to be interested in other people. I received an email from a wonderful lady last week, Connie. And Connie was sharing with me that she'd picked up my book, It's Who You Know. She'd read it cover to cover. She'd then gone online. She downloaded all of my resources. She connected it with me wherever possible. And she actually reached out to me on LinkedIn to tell me this story. And I actually sent her a message back saying, hey, do you fancy having a conversation? Do you want to have a chat in person? And we got on the phone and chatted, and she admitted that she is your classic introvert. She admitted that her concern about being interesting, her worry about what other people were thinking, her perception that she was being judged, her dislike of superficial conversation had actually stopped her from networking, and it actually fueled her fear and the procrastination. And through the conversation, I shared this stuff about actually introverts have superpowers. And if you can embrace things like your ability to listen deeply, your willingness because of your natural curiosity to ask more questions. And most importantly, this piece about focusing on the other person, that it's okay to be interested on the other person. You can almost see this light bulb go off for her, because she went, oh my gosh, Janine, oh my gosh, the light bulb moment. You've given me permission that it's okay to go into a conversation, to be interested in the other person, that I don't have to worry about what I'm getting from it. It's like, no, it's okay to be interested in the other person. It's okay to focus deeply. So that's the third skill that you can leverage. So I'm talking about you can listen deeply. You're awesome at asking really deep questions, and you have this innate ability to focus on the person in front of you. You're not distracted too much by other stuff. There's a couple of other skills that you have. Introverts have this natural ability to pick up on the nuances, on the energy, on what is going on in the room. You can sense when people are feeling uncomfortable. You can sense when people are really listening. You can sense when people have something more to say. And it's this innate ability to pick up on body language, to pick up on the unconscious cues that are happening, to pick up actually on what is not being said. Again, a superpower. Tap into it, use it, because it will allow your intuition to kick in. And the final thing that we have, because of that ability to pick up on what's going on around us, we are naturally inclusive. We naturally bring people into conversation. A bit like that example I was sharing with you, where in my business, in my networking business that I ran, this ability to make people feel comfortable from the get-go of, because I'd listened deeply and I was getting curious about the help that people needed, and this ability to connect people that should know each other was actually part of the superpower. So again, high five the introversion. I'm going to say this multiple times because I want you to own who you are. Who said, by the way, that you got to be an extrovert to be great at networking? It's bullshit. You do not. You do not. There's a lady called Susan Cain. She did a fabulous TED Talk around introversion. She's also the co-founder of a company called The Quiet Revolution. And she sums this up by saying, and I'm quoting here, "The secret to life is to put yourself in the right lighting. For some, it's a Broadway spotlight. For others, it's a lamplit desk." There you go. Embrace who you are. Number two, as I said, it's about leveraging your skills. So these are the skills that you've naturally got. Your ability to listen deeply, your ability to go deep on questions, to make other people feel important, your focus one-on-one versus trying to work the room and spread yourself thinly across multiple people. Embrace the fact you're good at focusing one-on-one. Who says you're going to go to a networking event and connect with 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people? You don't. You absolutely don't. It's about you connecting with people, engaging really well with them, and getting curious about how you can help them. And if that's one person or 5 people, it does not matter. Every single human interaction you have and the ability to explore how you can connect, engage, and support them is the key. So if it's 1 or 10, it doesn't matter. The fact that you are naturally able to read room, pick up energy, and read body language, embrace it, because that will fuel your intuition. And finally, own the fact that you are naturally inclusive. So the third thing, so we've got embrace you, 2, leverage your skills. Number 3 is be intentional about networking in the way that works for you. Like, we've all been told we've really got to network. We've been told since the year dot when we started at work that the only way we're going to grow our businesses is network, 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 network. And yes, the only way you can grow your business or career is surrounding yourself with an awesome group of people that are going to help you get there. You don't have to be successful alone. But there isn't only one way to network. You don't have to join multiple networking groups. You don't have to attend events with hundreds and thousands of people in. You don't have to go onto Zoom rooms with screen after screen of person to network. You can network one-on-one. You can network 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. The first thing I tell my clients that are natural introverts is I go, why don't you host a lunch, a coffee morning, invite people to afternoon tea and just make it 4 people, 3 people. Like, go smaller. Go smaller and connect in a small space. That's still networking. Networking is going to the one person that you trust and asking for an introduction to someone else. At networking events, at big conferences, remember when we used to get on planes and go to big conferences for multiple days? The best way to network as an introvert is to find out who else is going to those events, to reach out to them before you go to that event, and to arrange to catch up with them between the breaks for lunch or after the event. I've got a great client. She works with the Defence Force here in Australia, and it was one of the things that I coached her on, a big event that she was going to. I said, actually, it's not the speakers. Sorry, I am a speaker and I shouldn't really say this, but it's not the speakers that you should be fully interested in at the event. It's the people that are attending, and it's what you do between the cracks. What we ended up doing is coming up with her hosting a dinner, a small dinner, and actually approaching potential clients and existing clients and inviting. She essentially hosted a table for 10 where the conversation went deep, where the conversation was focused, where people got to connect with each other. And it was far easier to get a return on that investment of time than working the thousands and thousands of people at this conference. This is what I mean about intentional. You see, what happens is we go about it all wrong. As introverts, we go to these large events and we feel like our energy is drained. We feel like we've got to say yes to every single invite. And yet we know that if we go out for too many nights on the trot, we're exhausted. Now that could just be me having 3 children at home, but it's about understanding where you get your energy from. If you have to go to an event, my advice, and this is what I do, and there are many leaders, many very famous people who do this exact same strategy. Turn up as close to the start as you can. Because at the start, people are coming in. There's very few people there. It allows you to meet people at registration. It allows you to connect with the other few people that have arrived early and to watch people coming in versus entering into a room full of people. Give yourself a leave time. Give yourself a leave time. You don't have to stay there till the end. I've got so many introverted friends and awesome business owners that do this thing. They leave events at 9 p.m. They will go for 2 hours and that's it, because they know that they can manage their energy for 2 hours. But anything over and above that is really hard work. It's not supposed to be hard work. So work out what works for you. For me, I turn up at the start. It allows me to be there when everyone's in that welcome energy and to get to know a few people. I go into deep conversation, but I know that I'm going to leave that event within 2 hours at the max, because then I literally jump in the cab, I'm exhausted and I have to go home. So what works for you? So be intentional also about setting yourself up for success. As I said, you don't have to meet 10 people. Could be 2, could be 1, could be 3. But whatever you do, give yourself a pat on the back for that. It's not about how many business cards you collect. It's not about how many friends you have on Facebook or LinkedIn. It's not about how many people are in your database for this. Networking in this way is about surrounding yourself with the right people who are going to push yourself further than you can ever go yourself. This is about surrounding yourself with people who are going to be your marketing machine, about people who are going to keep you present and help you with your decision making. So be intentional about who are those people that you want to connect with. As I said, diarise coffee catch-ups, diarise lunches, diarise the one conversation. Be intentional about every connection you make. And the final piece, and really this was also discussed in this Clubhouse meeting this morning, was practice. It's like anything, right? You can't run a marathon overnight. Even children have to practice learning to walk or ride a bike. It's the same with networking. And if you're an introvert, it's just about practicing, stretching that muscle, working that muscle. If you want to grow your business, if you want to expand your career, if you want to continue to be relevant in this crazy 21st century world of busyness, if you want to continue to grow, if you want to become better tomorrow than you are today, it's impossible to do that on your own from the comfort zone of your sofa, staying in your little bubble of thinking. It's impossible. You know, we employ accountants to help us with our finances. We employ PT people to help us with our fitness, and nutritionalists to help us with our food, and meditation teachers. We employ people to help us. It's the same here. You have to be intentional about who you have around you that is going to help you be better, and you've got to practice. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. So, to wrap today's live stream up, do not use introversion as an excuse not to network. Like extroverts have superpowers, introverts have superpowers too. And this is why the biggest number one tip that I have for you is, first of all, to get out of that blame triangle of thinking that you're an introvert and therefore you can't network, to first of all embrace who you are. Again, as Susan Cain said, the secret to life is to put yourself in the right lighting. For some, it's a Broadway spotlight, and for others, it's a lamp-lit desk. So what lighting do you want? Embrace yourself. Number 2 is leverage the innate skills that you have as an introvert. Your ability to listen deeply, your ability to ask deeper questions, your ability to focus one-on-one and to really concentrate it and get curious about how you can help that other person. And the more you put your attention out, the less you'll be in your head. That other skill of reading the room and picking up on the nuances of body language, etc. Own that stuff, and your natural ability to, as a result of that, bring people, be more inclusive. Own it. Own it, own it, own it. Your deepness, your ability to think deeper is exactly what we need in this world where we're trying to navigate and work out how we come out the other side. So please embrace who you are and please leverage your skills. Number 3, be intentional. Just be intentional. You can't be successful alone. So be intentional about how, when, what, and who you're going to network with. Own it. You do not have to go to large networking events. I'm giving you permission to understand that networking can be a one-on-one game. And finally, practice. As with everything in life, the more you practice, the easier it will become. If you've got any questions on introversion, there's a whole heap of blogs that I've previously written about this and articles. Just jump on my website, send me a message. I'm happy to private message them to you. As I said at the beginning, if you are loving what you're hearing, please subscribe to my channel here on YouTube and click that bell so you get announcements. And if you want to take that conversation even further and engage with other people, jump on over to my Facebook group, Networking Skills for Entrepreneurs. I look forward to hearing from you. Have an absolutely awesome day. And any of you that are introverts, please embrace your superpower, because we need your thinking as much as the extroverts. We need your energy as much as the extroverts. We need your diversity of skills and insight and experience as much as the extroverts. And it's only together that we're ever going to drive change. Thank you.